Okay, so
Ah, yeah,
how do
okay.
we know how many people are watching and where they are? And it's going to be a while before people log in. Is there an announcement that this is starting somewhere?
This will be, yeah. The Arium Barbarossa will do.
Okay. I put it on my
publicity.
Facebook page.
Okay.
But I got 5,000 backgammon players that see that.
Okay.
But they might not all run there, you know.
All right.
We need to learn how to
so
use it.
I adjust this and
Okay.
then I come back.
Sure.
And,
We're online now?
You're online now and you can start talking.
Well, let's wait until, actually, that's right. We don't have, until we have a bunch of people, I don't want to go into too much detail on their background and stuff.
Doesn't make any sense to advertise that to no watchers.
Yeah, to no watches is right. Now, I'm hearing something. I think I'm hearing them. Or maybe it's feedback from us. We should turn off the volume, though.
There's a delay on
Is it a delay? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's
That's the delay. So we need
delay.
to
It's an actual delay.
we need to turn the volume
off on the,
which
on the
will
ear,
let.
otherwise that will confuse
Yeah.
our signals. Yeah, maybe when Matter comes back. we
Yes,
can
I'll
say
let
that.
him do it.
Yeah,
It's
because-
usually a little button on the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're hearing
we need
delay?
that off.
We're hearing
see,
ourselves.
It's maybe 8 seconds actually, 6 seconds.
Okay, but let me try something. Testing. Can you hear me well? It's more than 8 seconds. It's like 15-second delay. Testing. Can you hear me well? Okay.
16 to 17 seconds.
Okay. So a little closer though, and I think we're in good shape.
Okay.
And then if you you can go like this, or
No,
you
the best,
shouldn't.
the
You
best,
just leave
the
it. huh?
best thing
Okay,
is
just leave it.
yeah, just
Okay.
let me
Twist this.
yeah, just let it do
Okay.
its thing. Why does this thing go take? Just want it to. Yeah. It's always the best way I know from when I did it in Denmark is to have it set, and you don't have to hold something in your hand.
Okay.
It's far
I
superior.
think I think you've done more of this than I have.
No.
No?
No, for sure, no.
I've done this in Monte Carlo a few times, in the States a few times.
Yeah.
I do it with Larry Schiller. He always invites me to join him when I'm around.
Okay.
I wonder what happened to Schiller. He can't. He was supposed to go to Istanbul with. Said he had a family problem. Some kind.
Okay.
Something came up.
All right.
He's a brilliant guy.
Oh, for sure.
He graduated from Harvard and MIT.
Oh, he's got a lot of excellent skills.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a brilliant guy.
Yeah, and
He's
he's
one
great,
of
he's great for backgammon.
He-
We
I agree.
need everybody. I mean, especially we need you.
Some kind of promotion. Yes.
No, but just doing something in a different way that adds to the game. I mean, it's crucial if we're going to
I
make
love
more
your
of our
I
game.
like your attitude. Some people get mad and jealous that somebody's doing something. A lot of people don't like Larry because they think he's just promoting himself. Yes, he is. He's trying to get his
Oh,
things
he's
going.
worked damn hard. They didn't
That's
realize
okay.
how much time he spent
Oh.
doing radio shows, paying
Oh,
how to be
yeah.
better and speaking.
Yeah.
You know,
He did.
I paid just under 1,000 to do a radio course where someone showed me how to do. But I just did it for my music, which is underground DJ, just to do pirate radio station.
Is that what you
And
do
it's
for a living?
so
You do
different.
you
No,
do
it's
music?
just a side.
What do you
thing
do
I
for a living?
I'm a squash professional, so I teach
what?
squash. The game squash. I
You're a
used to play.
squash professional?
Yeah, I used to play full time.
Wow.
So I teach people how
I
to be
was
better.
I was the United States Seniors Racquetball champion for 3 years.
Okay.
And I tried squash and I was horrible. I couldn't get the backhand. You have to keep that elbow in. In racquetball, like this.
Yes, yeah, it's a bit
And
more wrist
I
than-
couldn't. I
yeah.
couldn't get the backhand good. I love the game though. Squash is a far better game than racquetball.
But
It's
not just that, in
more
America,
skill.
America and Greece, it's just, in America it's seen as like tennis is in England. England is an upper class sport. This is all the proper country clubs.
Right.
So there's at least 5 English professional players, ex-pros from the tour that all coach full time in America. Seen as very, very affluent sport out there.
Oh, yeah.
So when I played, I only went there once for Grand Central Station, New York, US Open, and all the people
Oh,
in
wealthy
America,
people.
yeah, but they
Sure.
see it as one of the times I felt really like a profession because it's held in such high esteem and
Oh, it
regard,
is, it
and they
is.
talk to you in a very nice way.
It's like court tennis.
Yeah.
Court tennis, you know Jason Briggs?
Yeah.
He's a very good friend of mine. He sponsors court tennis and makes the rackets for them all.
So you mean court tennis is what we call real tennis
with
in
the
our
wall.
country?
Yes,
Real tennis. we
Real
call it in
tennis.
our
Oh
country,
yeah. There's only like 4 courts in the United States.
It's hard, there's only a few in
But-
England.
Yeah,
as
but
well,
that's the high end
Oh,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
very much
Oh,
so.
you know, very
Very much
wealthy people. So squash has that same attitude.
in America, not
America.
everywhere, but in America
Right,
for sure.
in America.
Very much in
That's
Greece
one of the
as
reasons I
well.
play racquetball. I wasn't one of those rich people.
No, but it was a dream when you go there
Uh-huh.
just for the qualifying tournament. It was one of those kind of
Well,
exclusive clubs. It
I'm
was
sure you've
brilliant.
heard of Heather Mackay.
Of course.
I coached Heather in
Of
racquetball,
course.
and she became the head racquetball champion for 5 years. She's a sweet lady from Australia and
Yeah.
Canada.
You know
Heather
some
was
squash,
well, Heather
right?
was a good friend of mine.
Oh no, but she was a brilliant player as
Oh,
well.
But,
Don't worry about
but
that.
when she started in racquetball, she was not good, so I coached her, and I worked with her, and along with 2 other people, and 1 year later, she was the racquetball champion. She was such a great athlete, and she didn't start until she was 40.
Wow.
She didn't start racquetball until she had retired from squash.
Yeah.
But I played squash with her one day. She gave me a lesson.
It's still matter because there's a delay. We're getting a feed coming
Can we
back.
turn the sound on?
Can we turn the sound off on the
On
TV?
that?
On
On
this
this
side.
side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just on the monitor or wherever the sound is.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn it off. That's it, so we don't get feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about 16. It's amazing. It's about 16 or 17 seconds a day. We talk and then it comes back
Yeah,
through
this is
the.
this
Yeah.
is the of the feed. This actually we don't actually need. This is just a control. This is now how many watching.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay.
And they start soon
Okay.
with the handshake.
For those of you watching, we don't have too many yet because it's just starting. The finals of the Undefeated will start in about 5 minutes. Their players are at the table getting ready, and we'll repeat this later, but your commentators are myself, Phil Simborg, and from Chicago, and Eric McAlpine from London, and it'll be easy to tell who's talking. He's the one with the funny accent. I'm the one who talks normal.
That's right, Phil.
So we'll get started in about 5 minutes, and you should already see on your screen who's on top, who's on bottom. Aurelien will be on top, and Abdullah on the bottom, correct? Yes, Abdullah from Turkey, Aurelien from Paris. Abdullah, of course, is from Istanbul. And just a few minutes, we'll get started. So how can I check how many people? You have to go back and forth to that, don't you?
You
off?
can put
I
before.
thought you said it was on.
It's on now.
Oh, okay. So, in addition to myself and Eric, we've got Mete Ferrer.
Fehér. You can call me Máté Fehér.
Mete Ferrer.
But in Hungary we do it the opposite way. So my name is really Fehér Máté.
Oh, they do the last name first?
Yes.
Ferrer Mate is
Uh-huh.
doing the transcription, which you will see on your screen, which is pretty amazing that he can keep up with these matches and do the transcription as we go. And Mate does all of my transcriptions around the world, has done it for some time, and gets me the matches very, very quickly, and I pay him extra to give me a lower PR. So you can always make a deal like that, make yourself look good. He's great. So from time to time, we'll be asking him where we stand, and you will see the XG as we go. Okay, sitting at the table, we've got Aurelien Bonnet from Paris at the top, and Abdullah from Turkey, from Istanbul at the bottom. The bracket, 358 players in the open division, and these two made it to the undefeated finals. Now, the loser will go into the defeated bracket or second chance bracket and play the winner of that bracket and come back and play the finals. Pardon me. Last year it was Lars Trebel who went that route and played Carter Madig, my very close friend, in the finals, and he would have had to beat Carter twice, but Carter won the first match and is the defending international world champion. Here we go. I think they played the 6-5 right. That's my opinion. I'll stick with it.
I agree.
The split with the 3-2 after 6-5, very good play. You ought to get some outfield coverage in case he comes into the outfield. A lot of players bring two down there. It's very wrong. White's got a beautiful structure. The black's got a major lead in just in the race. Here's a real question. Do you button up here, Eric?
3-1, definitely not. No, you want to keep them separated here with black's position. You're hoping he rolls a number like this, where you get an opportunity to hit the shot. I don't button up because it makes it very easy for black to play behind and win the game.
So you want contact because you have the better board and you're behind in the race.
Correct, correct.
Well, now you might not be behind in the race after double sixes.
Okay,
It gets pretty close. The pip count is going to be almost exactly tied here after the roll. Pretty much even.
Yeah, Abdullah really wants to cover that checker, but also at the same time, he wants to try and make another point in board or on the outside so that he can bring his position home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice play by Aurelia.
That's a pretty good roll.
You definitely settle for anything that covers.
Yeah, anything that covers. Ooh, I don't know that I would hit here when I'm outboarded, and he's up in the race slightly.
It's only 11 shots, but I don't think it's necessary to slash on the ace here.
I'm not hitting.
I'm not hitting
What
on
does
the
XG
ace.
say? Do we know? XG says it's a blunder to hit. So Eric and I would have done that one correctly. Not that I wouldn't make plenty of blunders, but that one I didn't like.
He's now, by hitting, brought him onto the 20 point, which is much worse for him.
Yeah, the hit actually worked. It got him off the ace point, and he can bring his checkers home. But the race is still close enough to where you have to play the game. You might not necessarily want to be in a race. The pip count difference is only 5, and actually White's winning right here.
Okay.
Aurelien's winning the race. Very interesting roll. Gives black a huge advantage if Aurelien doesn't roll a 1.
Yeah, I think this time.
That's such an ugly option. I would make his other play.
I think you have to risk 11 shots
I
here.
do too.
If he makes this play, it looks safe for one roll, but the problem is, if he comes in, he's going to have problem with the next 2 or 3 rolls. So
One of my mentors in this game that I really look up to is David Wells. David Wells says, don't do anything that looks ugly. Just by looks. I mean, there are a lot of people that approach the game mathematically, but that is ugly.
Very ugly indeed. This is
But it might be right. Sometimes ugly is right, winning ugly, but I don't think so here. It might be right, though. Sometimes ugly is right. If you leave the shots and you get hit, you lose. What does XG say? XG likes the ugly play? XG liked the ugly play.
Wow.
Eric and I are wrong. This is all Eric's fault because he agreed with me.
I have to confess it's me.
The ugly play was right.
Yeah, maybe just his 4-point inner board, 5-point prime there is just a bit too much to leave 11 shots.
Yeah, and you get hit, it's curtains. You get hit, you can call the game goodbye. That's 11 times. 11 out of 36 is around just over 30%. So that means right away you lose the game about 30% of the time. So Extreme Gammon is a little bit smarter than me and Eric even.
Unfortunately, I have to confess that that's correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
No 5, that was big. We have a very, very close race.
okay, that's
So
a
the-
very
no-
small technical error.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he knew he was going to roll double fours.
That's the way to block it. Oh boy. It all hinges on the hit, and then he almost has to hit now because the race,
Yeah, whatever he rolls,
If
he
he-
rolls any four,
if he
in
rolls
any
any
form
four,
he must hit.
whether he covers the ace or not.
He's too far ahead in the race now.
Well, it's not that bad. Didn't roll a 4. Okay. So now you're pretty happy if you're Aurelien.
Okay.
6-5.
So it's looking
6-5 is a
like,
nice big racing number.
yeah, and he has a very nice bear
Well,
up
the race
structure.
is still close. It's only up 12 pips, but with black on roll, he's now 5 pips.
Yeah, but
Oh.
he has a very nice
Yeah.
structure. He's,
White's up 10 pips.
well, if he's up 10 pips,
In a
it's
77
clear,
race, it's
clear
more
double.
than 10% clear double. I think it's a close take. It might be a pass. 10 pips, 70. No, it's probably a small pass.
Very, very small.
You know what XG says? It's a pass.
It is?
It is a pass, and he did pass very good. And it wasn't that small. It was .167, which is a pretty good size pass. 10 pips out of a 77 race, 15. You need maybe around 12% to take, maybe a little less than that in that short of a race. Good, so you can see on your screen how they're doing, and there's been some errors, but they're still playing pretty solid, getting the opening game jitters out of the way.
Yeah. I think once they settle down, they're going to...
That 5-2 split is very common now. I was taught never to do that when I learned the game 50 years ago, because if the guy rolls double 5s, you're clobbered, but every other roll, you're happy, so...
It is, but this is a common misplay in backgammon. I see this misplayed more than any other move in backgammon. If your opponent rolls 5-2, you must hit from the midpoint. This happens a lot, even with very strong players. They miss this one. It's a little hidden move. If your opponent rolls 5-2 split, you must hit from the midpoint.
From the midpoint or from the
Correct.
8-point?
No, from the midpoint. You hit with 6-4.
Oh, with 6-4,
Yeah,
yes.
lots of people make the
Oh,
2
yes.
or they open. It's only a small mistake, but
Yeah.
it's one I see more often than many opening moves, actually.
Very good catch. I love doing commentary. I learn while I do it by being with people like Eric.
Well, I learn as well, you know.
You learn sarcasm, I learn backgammon.
I prefer to call it satirical wit, we like to call it in
Oh, is
London.
that what it's called?
Oh, absolutely,
Uh-huh.
absolutely, yes. You're very good at it, Phil, very good at it.
Other people say being a jerk is, but I like your approach better. All right, 6-4.
Okay, so...
It's getting oh, he slots the bar, he gets away with this. It's a big play, but he has a great game if he gets away with it.
I like his play.
He doesn't get. I love this play.
I like this play.
It was wrong, but it was a great. We loved it. It was wrong, but it's a gambling play.
It's a gambling play, but Abdullah being a Turkish player, they don't always play XG moves. They have a feel for the position sometimes, and this felt right to him to take a chance by slotting the 7-point.
Yeah, I spent 5 days in Istanbul before I came here to Cyprus, and I met Abdullah. I actually met him at his plant. He makes backgammon boards, and He is one of the top players in Turkey for the last many years, playing in the WBF Turkey Club. He's one of their top players for the last 5 years. He lives in Istanbul, 3 children, 48 years old. Very nice man. He doesn't speak English well, but I was with his partner who did all the interpretation. They were really, really gracious hosts when I visited his plant. We'll tell you a little bit more about Aurelien later. Let's concentrate on the game. Black has a significant positional advantage.
He does, but 3 back.
3 back and losing the race is the problem.
Yeah, it's going to be
The game
interesting.
can swing either way.
Okay,
This
now
is a very, very tough role to play.
this is tough, but I think for
This is one of his worst roles. He's got to
is.
leave a direct shot.
he does, so he
And
goes for minimum shots.
Minimum shots, leaves a 1. Pretty good play. Not a good play at all, though. Yep. Not a big error. That was a tough one. I'm not sure I wouldn't have done the same thing.
Yeah, I think most players would go for.
Yeah, the least shots.
Yeah, I think they go for the
Yeah.
leaving.
When I have a really
shots.
bad position, I tend to play really bad so I can get the game over with. But I've been told that's not a real good theory.
Yeah, generally not, no, but it's surprising actually with those kind of plays. Sometimes you do go into a double shot
Yeah.
or play something different just because tactically you need to.
Well, there's another straight. Oh, we got a double here.
Oh, okay.
He's doubling. He's got a. He's doubling. He's doubling from the bar. Oh my
Hey,
God! This
yeah,
is.
I don't mind his double.
You
here.
don't. If he comes in
No.
and hits, that's great. But he doesn't have that many. If he comes in and hits, it's still not all over. White, he can roll a 5-4, 3-2. He can come in and hit back. I don't like this double. I would not have made this double.
Yeah, but he likes the fact that he's shooting at his guy on the 7 point. He's stuck with 2 on the
Right.
24, so I can understand his double here.
Okay, and it worked. He came in and hit, but it's still, does he lose his market? That's the key. If he doesn't lose his market, that's what makes the double wrong, and it doesn't happen that often. And right now, if Black were to double, White would still have a take.
Yeah, but
So that's what I don't like about the double.
sure.
But what we're seeing is Abdullah is not shaken by being in the finals. He's gambling. He's not afraid to play his game. He's loose and he's going for it. He doesn't care about XG. He wants the money, honey. And I like that. I love that attitude.
Yeah,
It's fun. That's what this game is for. It's to have fun.
definitely.
I mean, if you're playing BMAB and you're playing for PR, that's a whole different kind of game than if you're just trying to win.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I respect him and the way he's playing, even though his PR doesn't look too good right now. As you can see on the screen, he's playing at 15, and Aurelien is playing at 4. But that's what I love about backgammon. Carterson didn't have a lower PR when he won last year, and he won easily against Lars. And he played his game.
He
If
did.
Carter had tried not to play his game, he probably would have lost. He was right to go for it.
I think so.
So I think that's what we're seeing from Abdullah so far, and I love it. It's the passion of the game that makes it exciting.
Yeah, and it's also the difference in the game. Not everyone is a PR player, not everyone is a mathematical player. We have many different players with different styles, and I think we should appreciate that for the game that backgammon is, rather than only focus on how they play the PR.
Yeah. Let me tell you, a player like Abdullah scares me as much as playing with Mochi, because with Mochi I know what he's going to do most of the time. He's going to make the right play. Abdullah, I don't know. He might take a pass. He might play for too good. He's playing more of a gambling game. It scares me.
Yeah.
And with a little dice luck, he can beat. He probably has a better chance of beating Mochi by getting lucky than a top PR player.
Oh, for certain, because he
Yeah.
plays an unpredictable game.
Right.
It's going to have more effect than playing a standard XG move, similar to Mochi.
But let's not judge him completely from 2 games yet. I know he has to play well to have the results he has over time. He technically plays very well, I'm sure. But what we're seeing here is some real gambling moves and cubes.
Yeah.
Do we know how big a mistake that double was? When you get a chance, Mate.
80.
80? So it was a blunder to double. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's going for the blitz.
He is.
Try and keep him from getting a back
Oh,
game.
wow.
He doesn't want him to have a 1-3 back game. It gives White way too good a game. But I hate White's game having the ace point made. That's something that Right now, I wouldn't take this cube, of course.
100 was
The error?
the cube.
Yeah, the cube error was even bigger, okay.
Okay, he's really going for this
Yeah.
now. He's really hoping he
He's
doesn't roll an ace.
Yes, all out blitz.
All out blitz. Yeah, he's not holding back.
No, there's only one way to blitz. You don't hold back. If you hold back, then you're timid on a blitz, you're gonna get beat that way.
Yeah. Okay, he's thinking about his ace.
I would bring it in.
For me personally, I would bring it into the 6 as well.
Gives you more coverage for the ace and the 5.
It doesn't. It just looks a better way to be able to make other points
Yes,
and
he
hold
did it.
position.
And by the way, his blot in the outfield duplicates 5s. That's another thing. You're less likely to get hit out there. Unless he rolls a 3-5. And even then, that means he has to come in on the 3, and Aurelien would rather come in up higher on the 5.
He would, but for me, he definitely has to hit here. He can't, if he comes in on the 5, where's his 3?
That's right.
He's going to slot in board, let the checker go safe,
Yeah.
then, you know, his winning chances go down a lot. So I like the way he's thinking, but he must hit.
Well, you may be talking too loud. They're only about
200.
250 yards away. They may have heard you. Because you certainly got it right, and he did too.
Oh, what a shot this is.
Double fours is a great roll. Great roll. Does it qualify as a joker? No, it doesn't. According to XG, they shows jokers, but it was a darn good roll. I guess
Okay.
coming in and covering would have been the joker. Double threes, very, very fine roll.
That's
Do you
a
cover
fan-
the ace here? I do.
Oh, you must cover the ace. 5-point board, no shots.
Yeah,
Only a 4-3,
Why is
4-5.
Why is he thinking? This is what I don't use any time on my clock. I just cover the ace.
This, you must cover the ace.
Are there clocks moving? Yeah, is it moving? Yes,
The
it
clock
is.
is moving.
Okay.
He's pondering here. He's not sure what
Sure.
else he's thinking.
Good
Yep.
play, yes.
This is.
And
this
XG
is-
liked the play. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
No, look, if he didn't cover.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now he's in a commanding position.
Now there's a very, very good chance of winning a gammon, and a gammon is a double game, so he would win 4 points instead of 2 if he can get all of his checkers off before white gets a checker off. I don't think too much of backgammons in situations like this, which is a triple game, but I like black's odds of winning a gammon here pretty good.
Okay.
What are the odds? Well, we can look at that in a minute. XG will tell us that. By the way, the software we're using and showing is Extreme Gammon, developed by my good friend Xavier from Akron, Ohio. And I don't know that hardly any decent player in the world who studies this game seriously doesn't have Extreme Gammon. So if you want to really learn and play the game, let's go to www.extremegammon.com and buy it. And tell them Phil sent you. I make a fortune every time somebody says Phil sent me.
Okay, I'm not so keen on this. He's leaving 2 shots anyway, but he doesn't want the contact with the anchor. So for me, I play this to the 4-point from the midpoint. You don't want contact now. You want to play the checker into a position where.
So you would
can come in-
volunteer a 3-1 right now would be the
Whatever he
only
plays, he's volunteering anyway. But
Why
okay.
is this worse?
no, it's not worse. But originally he was going to make the bar point.
Oh,
I wouldn't have made the bar
Oh,
point.
no, making the point, yes, then you have to clear it. I got you.
Yeah.
See, he could have made the bar point there and didn't. There's no reason to make a point that you're dying to break safely.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. All right, so just a matter of, is he gonna win a gammon or not? Of course, there's always the fun thing that happens in backgammon. Black could get unlucky, leave a shot, get hit, anything can happen in this game. There's a good roll. High numbers give white a chance to run off the gammon, but his chances of saving the gammon without a hit are not that great here. If he doesn't get a hit, he could, but he's gonna have to roll a lot of doubles. That's a lot of pips.
Not that many doubles. It all depends on how his next couple of rolls go for black.
Uh-huh.
If he rolls a bit awkwardly, then he's going to have a chance. But I always kind of look on the lucky side of these games and always think I'm going to save these if I'm white.
All right.
Okay, that's not good for him.
He survived. The 6-3 would have really hurt black there. That's what we'd be talking about. He would have left a shot. But that's only 2 numbers out of 36, which is only about 5.5% of the time. Then he only gets hit about 30% of the time. So that's 1.5% that he could have gotten in trouble there. So, but that 1.5% seems to happen all the time to me. Of course, every player will tell you that. They're the only ones that roll bad.
Oh, yes. Either bad or the most unlucky player.
Right. Everybody I know walks away from a match, whether they win or lose, thinking their opponent rolled better.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
All right, we have some drama here. If
We
black
do.
rolls two high numbers, doesn't roll a 1 or a 2, and doesn't roll doubles, he's going to leave a shot. And white can hit it and still win the game, much less get off the gammon.
Okay.
So he definitely should stay with both checkers to stop the pick and pass. And
I agree. Yeah, he just wants to play without wasting pips.
I
Okay,
would not
this
do
is-
that.
This is a panic move.
I
He's
don't know
fearing
why.
the gammon. He feels he has to run, but there's
Yeah,
no need for do this.
There was no reason for that. It could only hurt him.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
You just make some of his numbers better than
Okay.
they should be.
Give me an ace. He got it.
Wow.
Oh, and makes a point. Makes
Oh,
a 4
yeah,
point.
This is
No, make
no,
the
no.
4 point.
Oh, he nearly went for the
Oh,
outside.
wow. Okay.
Okay, now we have a serious game.
Yes, we have a game. You notice the dice was on the other side of the board. That doesn't count. And they also play, if the dice are on top of the checkers, in the States they play that counts. Here they don't. It's called a cocked dice when it doesn't count. Now 5-3, I would block an outfield point here, and I would probably make the 8 point.
I think this is a very, very good move.
Well, the 8 point blocks the 2 and the 3. I would have made the 8 point, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was right. Let's see.
I like Aurelien's move here.
Okay. Well, it was a blunder according to XG, so you owe me $1 every time you and I disagree. We're gonna bet $1. That's the. If you're not a gambler, why are you playing backgammon?
Absolutely.
I approve of gambling. It's a great way to learn, have fun. I taught my kids how to gamble, and they're very smart businessmen today. I'm very proud of them. Comes
Okay.
in and hits.
Oh yes.
That's big.
Everything is a hit now for white.
Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 7 checkers off. If white closes his board with a perfect bear off, and the opponent has 7 checkers off, white will be a 60-40 favorite in the game. So he's got a good shot at this game. And by the way, he has a redouble when he has 2 checkers off if black is still on the bar. It would be a redouble and a bear take at most scores. So we're at a place where he's right not to be thinking about redoubling now. We can't hit him, so he could hit him loose from the. You can hit him loose from the 12.
He must hit loose. Yes.
He hits from there. Yeah. Now I would bring another builder.
It's a close call because you don't really want to get hit twice here. So it's between whether he goes to the 8 or I'm not so keen
I would have
on.
gone to the 8.
I think it was the 8 or the 10.
Yeah, the 10 would have been
This one
better.
I'm not so keen on.
Yeah. I would rather have another cover. All right, he covers with the 6.
Yeah, I think it's a close call.
Yeah. I move the back checker closer.
Now he should play
area.
all. He should play all out or all in. I call it.
Uh-huh.
He shouldn't fear any numbers 2-5 or 2-6. He just needs to put pressure on closing that point.
Right.
So he should play this very aggressively now. Now he's got a 5-point
Right.
board.
Because Abdullah could come in with the deuce, but unless it's a 2-5 or a 2-6, he's still sitting on the 2 point. So you want more coverage for the 2 point.
Yeah.
He did block 2-6, which I think is still smart.
Yeah. Okay.
This is not I would slot the bar.
You must slot the bar. Notice, I don't like this. I don't like this. He's
Yeah.
trying to cover 2-5.
Yeah, I would
But
have
it's more
slotted the bar.
important. He needs to close the point. He needs that point to win the
Yeah,
game.
it's
So he needs to
like-
close out.
Or else you make the bar in the meantime if you don't slot.
Okay.
Bring in a builder or make the bar. Yeah, make the bar. Now he's got a prime.
He does.
There's no joker left for Abdullah. But he's probably going to have to slot the 2 now if he doesn't make it naturally.
Depends what he rolls.
I'm slotting.
I wouldn't slot.
You wouldn't slot?
No.
I do.
It's not urgent. I would try for one more roll.
I think there's too many chances to not make it. Was slotting right, Mate? Do we know?
7 off. I'm not sure. I would
I'm
slot.
slotting. Slotting was wrong. I owe you a buck.
Yeah,
I owe you a buck.
I would have broken the 7 point there.
All right, now
personally.
he's getting into a very good bear off position.
It's a bit too panicky to slot
Yeah,
for me, but
yeah. Again, according to my rule of thumb, when he gets 2 checkers off, if
2's a little bit thin here. I think I would be closer to 3, just
he's
based
got,
on the fact that
he's got 7 off.
and he's on the 2 and ace point.
I'm
with his
sorry, he's got
checkers,
7
so-
off. You have to have the rule of 4 is 3 checkers off.
Yeah.
He has to have 3 checkers off for a redouble and a take, according to XG. This is a good move. Keep his board. Now, if he gets 1 more checker off and Abdullah dances, then it's a double take. That's why it's not a double here. You don't lose your market unless you roll double 6 or double 5. He's right not to double.
Okay.
Now he gets it. There's 1 more checker off. If he breaks the 6 and black dances, he's breaking the ace.
Okay, this is
Not a bad play. because it doesn't hurt him that much to come in on the ace.
And now he has a clear redouble.
I would have redoubled here. He does. Good, good. Would you take? He passed.
No, I agree with the pass.
Yeah, I think he played that part brilliantly, and you can see Abdullah's PR is coming down quite a bit as we play. He had those couple of really big blunders, but Aurelien is playing very solid at 3.8 PR.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about Aurelien's performance. He's not that well known on the bigger international scene, but he's a very, very smart player. From the past I've played him before, he's represented France at European Championships. So
he's that good.
He is, yes.
Oh.
And I've played him actually personally. He's a very, very good strategist. He's a strong improving player from France, and we can see that he's found good form here.
Well, you know, he's had some help. He's had some lessons from Sebastian Wilkinson. And Sebastian, aside from being a really sweet, nice guy who I really like, I understand he's a very, very fine teacher. And I may be a little prejudiced, but I think having a good teacher may be one of the best ways to improve. I know a few people who've taken lessons, and they tell me it really helps.
I couldn't agree with you more, Phil. I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's a very, very good way to maximize improvement in your game to the level you want to reach.
Well, that's how I got better. As soon as I started playing and finding out how bad I was, I picked up the phone, called Kit Woolsey about 40 years ago, and started taking lessons. I've been taking lessons and giving lessons ever since. I'm still taking lessons. Right now, Matt Cohn-Geyer is giving me lessons in backgammon, and I'm giving him lessons in gin rummy. We're trading.
Oh, that seems like a good trade.
Yeah, so I'm still taking lessons today. And of course, Perry Gartner is my mentor and has taught me a lot. And I think they're both probably mad I mentioned them as bad as I play.
Okay. That's a very good roll.
Yes. Well, he doesn't clear his blot.
He doesn't, but
good news and bad news.
You get some compensation that you make a really strong point in board, and now you've got some good shape.
Yeah, but I'm not sure I wouldn't have just been happy to clear that blot, because leading a hit there would hurt. There's a great roll. That puts black in the game forever. It's almost never he's going to have a pass now that he's got that game. No. White still might have a double, but it's going to be hard for black. Will be in the game for a long time here. I keep saying black and white. I should be saying Abdullah's in the game. That was a great roll at 6-5. It doesn't show it was a joker.
Maybe it's about the settings.
Okay. You don't have joker settings?
I don't.
Okay.
Maybe that's the problem. But,
see, I have my XG to show the jokers, because that's the part that excites me. I want to know when I had a joker.
All right. If you have a break, I will adjust.
That's not critical. Yeah, it'd be nice to know if it's a joker or not for the crowd. Okay.
Okay, so 5-1. Okay, this is
5-1's a bad roll.
It is, but he
has to leave a shot.
He doesn't. He can
I can make the 3-point. What am I looking at? What is he looking at? How do you not make the 3-point?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is.
Well,
it wasn't that easy, probably, to see.
Maybe he just didn't see it, because I didn't see it instantly.
Right.
Right. I have a saying: when you roll a bad number, find a.
So now he needs to do a count. So
it's close.
Yeah.
Pip counts is 4, according to XG. Abdullah's winning by 4 pips.
After the roll.
After the roll, he's winning by 4 pips, which makes it a close race. However, it's harder for black to race.
Yeah, but he's not. That checker on the 24 is not under that much pressure. If he comes to 18, he makes it very easy for white to play. So this is a way up between.
I disagree completely, because black's going to crash too much if he doesn't come out to the 18. I don't think it's about the vulnerability of that checker. I come to the 18. Is it right?
I think it's a close call.
Okay.
Yes.
It's two different philosophies. See, Eric and I will often disagree, and that's what the beauty of this game.
But your play looks so much better now. I mean,
if we all played the same, it would be a very boring game.
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
Now he's much closer to the double.
Yeah, that's right. But the 1-ply rollout proved I was right. If he hadn't come out there, he wouldn't have been able to escape all 3 checkers.
No, he'd have been stuck.
And he's winning the race, so he's very happy he did it. Those are the kind of plays we study to make sure they're right and who's right. And I will review the match and look at that play to make sure I got it right and why.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big or small the difference is. The matters is you get the theory right.
I agree, yeah.
Double ones, your worst roll in a race is 2-1, and then comes double one. So right now, this game is a race. The odds of
It is. So
the odds of there ever being a shot here is small. So it's all about who has the higher dice now and who handles the doubling cube properly. The checker play is actually also very simple for good players here.
yeah, he just wants to improve his
What is
his
this?
barrel
What
structure.
was it? How
He played double aces.
1-1.
Yeah.
And after that, 5-1.
Yeah.
He played like this, and then 5-1.
Yes.
Yes.
Now 5-1.
Okay.
I don't get it because then what's wrong?
So
It's
here, I
random.
think
I
think
can't
5 to 4 is slightly better than bar point. Just yeah.
Very good. You want to unstack. And the other thing is, we learned from Walter Trice years ago, when you're doing a bear off, you like to stack checkers on your
When
4
we
point.
have a break, because,
It's your ideal place to put the checkers.
well,
Um,
we can make the change.
Brilliant man, good friend who I still miss, most of us do to this day.
Another double. More
Horrible
double
double
aces.
ones. Yes, this race is nip and tuck. It's anybody's game.
Okay,
And this also
he's-
gives him some vulnerability to leave a shot if he rolls a 6-1.
It does. He's loading up the 5 point. You obviously didn't hear what you said there, Phil.
About loading up the 4 point?
Yeah.
I'll talk louder so Abdullah can hear me.
Okay.
We're not talking about huge differences, just a little bit, but you make a 2% error here and a 3% error there and a 2% error there. By the time the game is over, you've given away 30% of your winning chances. So these little things matter.
Yeah.
So Aurelien is thinking about breaking contact, which he did, and just making it into a pure race. The race is exactly even.
Oh, that's a fantastic
Double
shot.
4 is fantastic. Gives him 16 pips.
Wow. That's big at this stage.
It's big, and now the 10 is also big, so we know the difference is 6. I keep it in my head as I go. I'm not a brilliant mathematician, so I knew
Okay,
it.
6
I
ahead.
keep adding.
He has to counter.
Another good roll.
I think
The
Oh.
players, they have to counter it. They don't know.
Yeah,
They
the players
do.
have to count the race. They don't see what we see.
okay, I like his double.
You like his double up 6 pips?
I do because
And he's got a crossover?
He's down 0-3. He needs to push a little bit here to, get back into the match.
He's been pushing from the beginning. I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love the way he plays.
So he's-
I would be afraid to play this guy for money. He's got guts.
Yeah.
This is like playing Carter. When I play Carter all the time, I have to take a tranquilizer every time.
Yeah, but I don't mind the double here at all.
It's technically probably wrong. Only up 6 pips? I don't know.
If it is, it's going to be tiny, but I think it may be a small double here.
God darn it, Eric, you're right again. The XG says
Well,
it's a double by .024, a tiny double. Next time you give me another co-commentator, get somebody worse than me, will you please? Keep giving me players who are better than. Of course, it's hard to find somebody like that. Eric is a really, really fine player. I would take his advice over mine any day.
Well, I appreciate the compliments, Phil, of course.
You earned it. You earned it with your skill.
Oh, thank you.
And he's so typical of other great players. He was a championship high-level squash player, and I can't tell you how many really people who are competitive that do well in sports also do well in board games like chess and backgammon. I can't tell you how many of our great backgammon players are great athletes. Of course, it was a take. He took it.
Yeah.
And double
Oh.
4. Now he's sorry he took it.
He
Medium
is,
joker.
and Abdullah's delighted that he queued.
Yep. And I would have missed that cue. By .02, I would have made it .024. Although, there is something about the score, though. The fact that you're losing, even though it's 0-3 to 15, that's a real edge. I bet you Aurelien had probably about a 58% advantage in the match, so you gamble a little bit.
I think so, but also you have to remember, just imagine now that Abdullah rolled a high number and Aurelien rolled a low number, then it may be closer to a pass, so you have to take your chance
You
now
lost
in
your
that
market.
position. I
You
think
lost
so.
your market.
I think so.
Well, you're right. That's what the Trice and the Keith count will tell you. You lose your market when you're over by 4. You have to double using their formulas, and this was close. I didn't stop to do the actual Keith count, which is the way I would have approached it. John O'Hagan would have done Keith, Ward, Kleinman, EPC, and then decided.
Would he have had enough time on the clock at the end of the match?
Yes, he can do it.
Wow.
He can do it. And there are other players that would do things like that. But EPC probably he would have used there. He's my coach and one of my teachers, and he coaches me on how to do these mathematical things. And the best thing about the math is very, very complicated until you learn the shortcuts, and then it's not that hard.
Okay.
You can do it over the board, and that's the best thing about John O'Hagan and some of the other great teachers. I'm sure Sebastian does the same thing. You teach your players how to do it quickly over the board so you don't have too much brain damage doing these things.
I think that's vitally important, especially in clocked matches.
Oh, even if it's not a clock match, you don't want to use up all of your brain energy just doing mathematics over the board. So there are great simple shortcuts that we can all learn. And of course, there are people that do it by feel and do very well. Falafel does a lot more by feel. He's got the technical skills, but when he has a feeling and instantly knows if it's a double or not, and he's almost always right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very good roll for Abdullah. He was getting in trouble back there by having those checkers spread.
Is it a 2?
Yes.
Yeah,
And the 6?
6-2.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is a interesting play.
Well,
There's a few options here.
yeah,
Okay.
I can understand buttoning up. I don't know that I would have done that. I'm not sure. I probably would not have done it. It was a blunder, so maybe I'm right one time. But you know, I'm not going to fault him for making that blunder. Those are hard plays. You're under clock pressure. They're playing for big stakes and a lot of honor here at the world's greatest tournament, in my opinion. I mean, I love a lot of people and a lot of people who run tournaments, but this tournament, the way they treat you and the food and the staff, I think they have 30 people on staff. It's unbelievable the way this tournament is. This is one that I only missed one in the last few years, and that was last year for other reasons, personal reasons, and I'm sorry I did. This is one that everybody should make.
I couldn't agree with you more, Phil.
Okay, 5-4. That's a hit.
Yes.
Obvious hit.
Yeah, you can't let him get further
Yeah.
ahead in the race.
Yep.
That's 3 back anyway, so no real risk. No great risk.
That dice is off the board. It's got to be flat on the right side of the board to count. 4-2. Not a good roll. He would have liked to come in with a hit.
Yeah.
Just a little less than half the time. No, double 6 is always an exciting roll. Those are the kind of rolls that can turn the game around.
Okay, so there's a few options here.
Yeah. Well, you have to make the bar, don't you?
I think so, yeah. You've seen this
Look
one.
how fast he saw that hit.
He
It
did.
I would have had to count with my fingers, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a skilled player. That's a guy who's got a real good visual sense of the board.
Colors help.
Yeah, the colors help.
So he's coming
You
on
go from blue to
twos.
blue. But I'm really impressed with Aurelien's skill, and I'm impressed with Abdullah's passion.
Yeah.
Not that they both don't have passion, but I like both players, and we interviewed and met with both of them before the match. 2 really nice gentlemen. They were humble. They weren't cocky about where they are. Really nice guys, just thrilled to be where they are. Of course, we'd be thrilled to be where they are. But I've interviewed really top players. I've interviewed about 30 of the top players in the world, and I have them on YouTube, and I have them on. And I must tell you, they're not all that humble. I like people like these guys. They're great guys. I want to see them both win.
Oh, absolutely. But in my opinion, they both have very solid games for backgammon. And Aurelie is he's very much seems to be playing a strong game here.
All right, 2-6.
Okay, so now he's thinking, do I hit? Do I cover? Which one do I go for?
If you don't hit, he makes that prime. I think you're dead. I hit and run. I would hit and run.
I think he has to.
I think he has to hit.
Yeah.
He gets stuck right there. It's a gamble. He did it. He
Yeah.
listened to me. Was it right? It was right. Okay, good. I got one right.
Okay.
I like this play. Lots of people don't come out to the bar enough. Yes, you get hit with a 1, 4, or 6, so it looks like suicide. But your alternative is staying back. And a cube. How many rolls hit and cover? He needs a 3 and a 5 to cover. He can hit with a 1, 4, or 6. You hear what I just said? 3, 5, 1, 4, 6. The fact that there was no duplication in those numbers is a big, big factor and might make this a double. Is it a double? Do we know Mate?
I think it is
Yes,
double, yeah.
it's a good double.
He's heading the race,
Yeah.
he's threatening to do
Yeah.
something very destructive on his next roll. And these are the kind of positions that are good to double when it looks, oh, am I going to clear, am I going to hit, am I going
Right.
to make a point?
And,
you let your
and-
opponent
and
think
you,
about
and
it.
you saw what I just did. I said cover with 3-5, hit with 1, 4, 6. Those kinds of things help you understand what that your odds are. That's without doing a lot of mathematics.
Yeah.
Whatever. When they have a break, we try to solve it.
Yeah, of course. It's
We
you came
see
to the
s-
you
the
came to the
same,
bar,
yeah,
but
the
now
same.
okay.
He
Oh,
passed.
okay.
I don't think that's a pass.
I think
a big take.
It is, but
Big take.
as we
I
know,
have
it's not
to-
XG
you
playing the
have to-
position;
you
it's
have
a
the
human.
same.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes they can feel a little bit
Same,
uncomfortable.
thing.
You know,
Well-
he's going to hit with his best
Yeah,
number.
okay.
I'm going to get
But
stuck
we
on the
cannot do it
24.
now,
I'm going to
but
get
we
gammoned. I
later
prefer to
resolve,
just
okay?
give you 1 point
When-
play the
when
next
they
game.
are break.
So what you're saying though too is that's what we call a gammonish position. If he does roll well, there could be quite a few gammons and he could lose 4 points. He's saying I'm giving away 1 point. He might even say I know this is a take, but I'm going to drop.
Yes, but just because of
I
the
hear
threat of being out of position,
Uh-huh.
being under pressure, there's quite a few players that tend to lean a little bit
Uh-huh.
towards passing in these kind of
Right.
uncomfortable positions.
I hear you. Well, I would definitely give that cube if I was playing Mochi or playing a really top player because I know it. You know, it's my chance to get lucky and gammon him, and Mochi would be smart to drop that against me.
Wait.
We're missing some rolls. Mate's trying to keep up here. Double
Too
six.
much, too many.
He's doing very well.
No, the thing is, on the stream, the pip count doesn't look right.
Oh, the pip count doesn't look right on the screen.
Yes, but please tell the audience that when the players will go on a break, we will
Fix it.
We will fix this.
Okay,
yeah?
so the stream
Not
doesn't
until
show the
then.
pip count properly, but we're gonna fix that as soon as they take a break. Okay.
Yeah.
We hope they'll take a break. These guys might not take a break, the pace they're going. By the way, that's the other thing I'm impressed with. They're playing pretty fast. Neither one of them is in any kind of clock trouble. I would have actually I would actually go slower. One of the things my coach keeps telling me is I'm not taking enough time and using enough of the clock. And I think both of these players could slow down a little bit on their very tough plays.
Yeah, by a fraction, but in general, Turkish players seem to be very natural players. They go with a natural flow tempo rather than a thinking tempo. French players also, so I think you have to strike the right balance.
Well, you have to play what you're used to, too.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons I don't go so slow. I've been playing chouette 4 days a week for 40 years, and you have to play fast. So when I get in a tournament, if I were to slow down, it could probably hurt my game
Sure.
if I slow down too much.
Yeah.
Now, do you hit or do you make the bar point? I'm hitting.
5-1.
I'm hitting because
I
I've got him
think you-
outboarded and I made my ace point.
I think you have to hit.
Okay, he agrees.
Yeah.
Once you make your ace point, and Abdullah's made his ace point, you really want to play a hitting game.
I think so, but
That's
also
generally your strategy.
because he has so many checkers back, if he plays safe, it just makes it much easier for White to win the game.
Uh-huh. There are really 3 basic strategies. Oh, looks like Art is stopping the clock for a second for a break.
Because of this thing. He wants them to have a break after this
Okay.
game, so they can.
I can recognize Art's hand and shirt. Art is the tournament director. He is fabulous. Does a great, great job. So we had a dance with double 1. Okay.
Okay, he's got a
He's
5-3.
unlucky.
For me, I like the 3-point here.
And
Yeah.
so does he.
Oh, yeah.
And so does XG. And maybe even me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
interboard points and your players on the bar. Okay, we got.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay,
You're
look at
doubling
this.
with 4 Oh my.
3 on the 24, but based on his last pass, I can understand why Abdullah's testing him here.
Oh, wow.
This is a human cube.
I would not.
This is a human cube.
It wouldn't
He just,
occur to me to cube here.
but he just passed the last position, so he's
Oh.
thinking, okay, I've got you under a bit of pressure here. I want to see how you react when I push your button again when you're behind in
And
the
he
game.
took it. He took it.
Okay, good
Okay.
take by Aurelien.
Yeah, absolutely. That can't have been a double. When you got 3 checkers back on the ace and And it just couldn't have been a double.
I agree, but it's not XG that's playing this match here, Phil. It's
Yeah,
two humans.
I hear you. I hear you.
He felt because he passed the last position, he's going to test him with the
Yeah.
cube.
That's the fun of backgammon. You should and can play the person. I have people in my shoe and I would double that without any hesitation, especially if it's towards the end of the day and they're up on the sheet.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It changes your cube action quite a bit. All right. This is going to be tough. This is not an easy position to play for black. That's the other thing, is white's position is very easy to play here.
Okay.
Either comes in, you got to get out of there and not get hit. Yeah,
I think
there you
so.
go. Yeah, he had no other five that made sense.
Yeah.
As much as he would have liked to play a 2-4 game.
Oh, anti-joker.
That's
an anti-joker.
That is, in fact, I wouldn't have even thought of this. This is forced. This is a terrible roll. Oh, yeah, that's the worst roll he could have rolled. Oh my God.
That's a bad one.
Does white have a redouble here? I would seriously think about it.
Okay, it's got an ugly position, but
Does he have another play? That's
Yes,
forced.
because
Oh,
he does. He can,
we can bring. Oh yeah, he's
yeah.
got a checker. He can move one
it's
checker
not
from the back.
completely forced.
That's right. It's not completely forced.
Yeah.
I think it's forced by logic.
Yeah.
You have to do that, otherwise you're leaving another blot. I'm thinking about recubing here.
Maybe a bit too early. He hasn't got a point in board yet. Okay, his position
Really?
looks ugly, but
Was it a redouble, Mate?
We'll see.
Oh, okay. We'll see. I would have flipped it.
very aggressive, Phil.
No, the guy rolls an anti-joker. You see him sloop in the chair. You see him get depressed. It's like poker. That's the best time. And I flip the cube out there in a second, and I hear a bunch of swear words, and the guy drops the cube. And then for the next 6 years, he talks about his double threes. You want to play the player, that's the time to do it. Right after an anti-joker, or after you roll a big joker, I'll throw the cube out there and I'll win the match, win the points many times that way.
Okay, he's got a 4 to play. Yeah, I like this play.
I'm sure it may not have been a cube, but I would have done it. It's just too much fun to punish a guy for an anti-joker.
Yeah.
My good friend Kenny Bond, who passed away, I miss him dearly, a great backgammon player, he used to say, "This guy ain't breathing very well, let's step on his air hose." I love that.
Ah,
You go for the throat. Do you make that point? I think you do.
I think I make the 9.
He thinks about coming off the 2, isn't that horrible? It does give your opponent some jokers. Oh,
okay.
there's a play that was not in my list.
I didn't see that one.
Well, XG liked it, didn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, good play. Not that afraid of getting hit. 3-point board, you come in 75% of the time. 27 out of 36 rolls you come in on a 3-point
okay,
board.
So 5, yes, I
yeah,
love
you have
these.
to cover. Have to cover.
Yeah. Okay, now it's starting to get interesting again.
I like Aurelien's position holding the cube here.
He's looking very, very good. If there's one misstep from Abdullah, I think he's going to be in trouble of facing a full
yeah.
cube.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing that might have been wrong about my cube. You give away cube power or cube vig. You give a cube that your opponent can take very easily, you lose the ability to pressure him with the cube and maybe get him to make a mistake later. So you want to put your opponent in positions where he might make a mistake, and that's one reason it's wrong to cube too early. A major reason not to. Double 4s. That's
Wow.
interesting, but I'm not sure that's a joker or that's
Wow.
that good. At all.
He's certainly going to be able to move at least 2 of those blocks away, so I don't think it's too bad, Phil.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but he didn't hit him. That's the key.
Yeah, I wouldn't have...
Well, you cover and covers and yeah, it hits. Okay, that's right.
I think so.
Yeah,
He's looking to safety out some of
has
those
to be
blots,
right.
so I'm okay
I was
with it.
looking to see what he was thinking. He was thinking cover. That's a good roll for Abdullah. That's a great
excellent
roll.
roll.
Great roll. Double hit.
Yeah.
Now he might scamper around the board.
Yeah.
Coming in with twos, a very good roll also.
Yeah.
Pick and pass, that's called pick and pass. He hits, and that's not legal in some forms of backgammon, in tavla, some forms of tavla. You
Oh,
can't pick
okay.
and pass.
Wow.
There's a lot of variations to this game. We're looking at the most popular game that's played in tournament play, but all over the world, millions of people are playing different forms of this game. Some play without the cube, some play you can't pick and pass. There's Hachipura, where at one point is a block. Lots of different fun
Okay,
games.
he's gone for it here.
Yeah.
That was a tricky
That was a
play,
gamble.
actually.
That was a tough one, and he's been punished, and now this game is over.
I think he's in serious trouble.
toast. The question is whether or not you're too good to double, and I think you might be. By too good, it might mean that really it might win too many gammons and be better off playing on from here instead of just doubling his opponent out. And XG just said I was right. Thank you, Mate. It is too good to double, but not huge.
XG owes you a buck.
XG owes me a buck, right. I'm right, it is too good to double. I wouldn't have recubed here.
Okay.
And it's an easy pass.
Insta pass.
So if he played on for the gammon, he is too likely to win gammons, but the other side of the coin is, even if things go bad, he probably could still win the game most of the time anyway. So you're better off waiting. Okay,
Yeah,
Mate, you can
break.
fix the pip count. And we're taking a break. Can we see how many people are watching? You know how to do it?
Yes.
Oh, you do it.
Nice.
82, okay. Now how do we go back?
You just press the same one again. Just me.
Okay. So we got a little break here. I'm gonna get a drink and I'll be right back.
I've been asked to join you, so come sit down.
Oh,
You need
I feel some more.
That's right.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
an extra chair.
Yep.
Why don't you introduce Chris when we come back?
Sure.
Oh, there's drinks right here. Just have water. Chris, why don't you take my seat for a while? I think three's too many.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
take turns.
Yeah, that's right. We'll just
Yeah.
dovetail.
I can't believe we've talked and met and everything,
Yeah, you are.
never in person.
Well, after the shirt you wore yesterday, I'm not sure I want to talk about it.
Just gonna hop to the
Yeah, okay.
I might be very sweet in bed, you don't know.
There are certain things I want to know about your film. That's not it.
All right, we're gonna let Chris Bray come in and take my seat for a little bit, save my voice.
Especially on a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, after the
No,
break,
that's good.
I'd
That's
like you
fine.
to take over for a bit,
Yeah.
and it'd be great.
Oh. What is it? 5-3. What's the PR so far? 7-4. Okay.
Abdullah took some real shots, some real chances,
Yeah.
and I really think that the only, I don't know how big an error that last pass was, that last double, oh, it wasn't too bad. He was too good to double, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad. About 6% error, 0.06, not too bad.
One of the most common errors anyway.
Yeah, but see,
because
looking-
people apply money play thinking to match play.
Yeah, looking at this position though, you know, people, you don't just weigh wins and gammons. You look how often on the next roll can your opponent get to a take.
Yeah.
And very few combinations here make that happen. So that's the reason I would have played on here. And when your opponent has this ugly a position, I want him to play it as long as possible because I want him depressed.
Yeah.
Rub it in. I'll be back.
Right. What are you sorting out?
one off. Okay,
Do
thank you,
want to introduce
Stefan.
me?
It's
Sure.
great.
You.
I cannot care less about this.
Okay, so we're back. Phil's on a break. We now have Chris Bray from London, United Kingdom. One
Yeah.
of our top players, excellent columnist, has his own website. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much, Eric. So you have an all-British team for the next half hour or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so
Standard opening.
yeah, we're back. 5-3 to Aurelia.
Where's it? 4-3.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
The score
Yeah, the
is
score is there, 4-3. Okay. Ooh, chance for a double tiger, but not much
3-2,
coverage. Yeah, I think this is the better play.
It looks sensible.
Yeah.
So did you manage to watch any of this, Chris, before coming into the booth?
So I am now coming in fresh from the pool bar, I'm afraid. So
Okay.
I'll have time to get up to pace with how the people are playing. And we've seen this before. So
Okay.
survived the blitz, and now looking good. Ooh. Okay. If he comes up, he's got no 4th-2, so
So he has to play to
he
the
has to
9.
play this, and he needs to think about this. Rolls that make the prime, rolls that hit. Black has no anchor, and a board that is not ideal.
So would you
So
cube here, Chris?
I would cube.
I would as well.
What does our friend say?
So he has doubled.
Yeah,
Abdullah has a decision.
it's not great. He loses quite a lot of gammons here as well.
He does, but only when he rolls 2.
Yeah, what's the pip count? It is
15% gammons.
16% gammons. Take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
He's passed. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes it looks worse than it is.
Yeah, I think in these positions it's different.
Quite often when the attacker has only a 2-point home board, then I'm quite happy to take. When it gets to 3 points, I think for a lot longer.
Yeah, I think so, but in general, players, when they're under pressure in those kind
Yeah.
of positions, sometimes lean a bit more towards passing, because
Yeah.
it feels and looks uncomfortable.
Yes. And one of the things you learn is you need to take your time to work out the variations and what could possibly happen. So Moshi gave me an object lesson in our match. He thought for 6 minutes about a double, and 19 people got it wrong, and 1 person got it right.
And so those 6 minutes look like they were well spent.
Well spent.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, they're playing quite quickly.
They are, but I have to say that Aurelien's tempo over the board just looks a little bit better in this
Yeah.
match at the moment. Hence,
Yeah.
he's leading 6-3. Seems to be a
Yeah.
bit more composed. He's finding good plays. He's finding his rhythm. Abdullah's not quite found his rhythm yet.
I think this is one of the things where you play 24-18 because you've got a slightly better board and you can protect it. But again, that could be wrong.
Okay. Kept his anchor.
Yeah. Now, yeah. Could just make the 9 point, but this is probably right.
I think this is right. Send
Yeah.
him back, and then back in the race.
See, bar 14 came up as an error from the preceding play.
Double fives.
Whoa!
Is that certain?
There's not too much choice, I think, unfortunately for him. What's that?
so the-
4-2. Take the point. But
Which
one?
4 point and move off the 18.
Uh,
I think now this all depends. Yeah, okay. I don't mind this at
So
all.
I think you make the 4 point. Sorry.
Pure,
Yeah,
pure,
pure.
and more pure.
Yeah. When my opponent's already got an inner point board,
You like to
again,
equalise.
I like to equalise.
Okay.
4-2 came up as a blunder.
Not a blunder. This is just precise.
Oh,
It's
this
a
is-
slight error.
oh, slight error.
But the right play is to make the 4.
Ah, well played. Well played, Chris.
Thank you very
Very
much.
well played.
Right, on we go. So, what have we got? Now, it's always good to have a plan when you're playing backgammon. So, Black, at some point very soon, needs to split his back checkers, or he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, he'll get hemmed in.
So,
Okay.
he needs a roll that covers the 5 point, splits the back checkers.
Well,
That'll do nicely.
Here we go.
Oh,
Oh dear.
what? No, I think you've got to split
I
that.
think he has to split with 2 and make with ace here.
He's got to make it difficult for White to bring the checkers back home. Yeah. Oh, this is ugly.
Yeah, I think
So, given Black's home board, I'm dropping 2 down, taking the risk now.
I agree. I like that play very much. If you get missed, you're virtually guaranteed you're going to do something very
Yes.
good on your next roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got 8s and 9s, so he's got 11 hits here. That's not one of them. So now black, who should have split, if he'd split with the 2 on the last roll, he'd have been in a lot better position then.
Yeah, he's looking like he's going to get stuck on that 24 with 2 checkers.
Yeah. The question is, does white break the Dimitri rule?
It depends on the race.
Dimitri rule is that you never double without an extra inner point board.
Okay, but modern day
In a board
backgammon
point, yeah.
now is slightly different. You've got to make different
Yeah.
or good moves at the right times. I think he's having a count here. If he has anything close to a decent racing, if this,
14.
he's 14 ahead.
Yeah, I think you've got to double this.
I think you do because we can see his reluctance to.
That's it. No double. Okay. Right, I'm premature.
Well, only according to XG,
Yeah.
but I think
you might-
based on the fact he hasn't
yeah.
split his back checkers,
Yeah.
I don't mind making a small mistake according
Yeah,
to
I
XG,
agree.
based on the fact that we know that Abdullah's feeling uncomfortable. So what may be a small error by XG is a very, very, very good human cube in this
Yeah.
situation. Look, he's not split. He's fearing something that's not there. I would definitely cube his position.
Yeah.
If you told me it was 30 or 40 millipoint error to do that, I would still cube.
Because you never know, if your opponent would drop, it's a brilliant cube.
He's not going to like seeing a cube here.
17% drops.
He's not
Yeah,
going to
make
like
it
seeing a
valid.
cube.
In that case, it's a cube, based on the prior action in the match.
Yeah.
He's taken a roll.
Okay, I would have definitely cubed, but I can understand. He's leading 6-3. Not
Make
such
the
a bad
bar or
thing.
the 2 outer points, or you play safe. Okay,
Okay.
they're making decisions very quickly. Is he going to split? He's finally going to split.
Now his position's his best. He decides to split.
Well, now I definitely want to make a point for a cube.
I think now he's split. Yes,
Because
I agree.
the checkers are too far away to blitz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was actually
Was
an
that
illegal
legal?
play. He's noticed.
Illegal.
He's correcting him. Yes. Yeah.
Whoa, 4-3.
Oh, wow.
No, do you,
I think
what's the race?
this doesn't. I don't
It's,
think it matters, does it? I mean,
19. He's 12 behind after the roll, so
he is.
I
but
think
you,
he should-
you can't stay open. I think.
Yeah.
Can you stay open when do you make the 20?
close call. Is it a close call?
Yeah.
Yeah, close call.
I still prefer
Okay,
the 20, even 12 pips. I mean,
No.
if he
Yeah,
stays back,
that's
if he
right.
stays back, it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
gives too much
Yeah,
opportunity to
absolutely.
white.
So now he's 12 pips behind in a runner. This is not a double in my book.
Not leading 6-3. I wouldn't even think about
No,
cubing.
I wouldn't cube in a money game. It's 12 pips up here
Yeah.
with 2 stripped outer points.
And he's 6-3 ahead to 15.
Yeah.
It makes it even more of not a double here.
But he doubles
Okay, he pushes.
and he
Yeah.
takes,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
I think we'll find that was no double take later.
I have to agree with
Yeah.
you, Chris. Yeah. Yeah.
His 6s and his 4s can get a bit mucky very shortly.
Yeah.
So here, I guess we slot 2 points with the 6-4. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the check on them.
Yeah, I think as long as you slotted the 4,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
it's
it's
fine.
okay, isn't it? 2-1.
Makes a 3 point. You don't bring the spare checker in. this
Definitely not.
situation.
Definitely not.
So he's played some moves very quickly, but what I think is a fairly straightforward move, he's taken his time.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Double fours.
okay. So now he has racing equity and shot equity. So how do you play the last 4?
I just bring it in from the 7-point personally. That's my preferred play.
I would agree.
He's not gonna leave you a shot this roll, so not so keen.
Doesn't look like it should live there.
No, he's not leaving a shot next roll. I think you have to play what's best for the
5,
position.
4. So now he's seeing the problem with White's cube. He's having trouble clearing the outer points.
Okay, he's
Black's
thinking,
caught up in the race, and
he's
it's,
thinking hard, but
yeah. What?
oh
They
my,
should slot 2 points, surely.
that is not
That looks wrong.
from Aurelıen. That's not his normal standard of play.
No.
He should have slotted the
So
4 and slotted the
now-
ace point.
Now he's got racing chances. What are we? We are, yeah. So he's only 3 pips behind before the roll, so he's now
No,
or is that after the roll?
It's half the roll.
Half the roll.
Yeah, I
So
can
he's
show
1
you.
pip
This
up.
is before the
Okay,
roll
so he's
start.
1 pip up after the roll, but black is also running out of time, so he needs the potential for both the race and the hit. Yeah, this looks right.
Yeah.
So he keeps a 6 in case he rolls a bad 6. Oh,
Okay.
boxes, boxcar bonus.
That looks a very, very good roll at this stage.
Yeah.
1.
Okay, so
Okay.
can white produce a 6-1 to get the crowd excited?
I don't like this. I think you have
You've got to swap the...
Yeah, this is a common thing I see with lots of backgammon players. This,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to leave me a shot next roll, so I don't leave a shot, but it's very unlikely he's going to leave a shot. It's only 2 numbers.
I think this will play out and become a single game loss in a
Looks
minute.
very, very good for Aurelia here, yes.
So black is at least 2 sets behind, 2 big sets behind.
Yes.
6 to 1.
Okay, so
Okay, and this is
that
this
puts
is
it, that
this
puts
is
it
over
into,
pretty much.
yeah.
So you could lose a freak gammon, but
Okay.
that's not going to happen either.
The freak
So
gammon, freak gammon's gone. Yeah, yeah.
Really? No, so it's playing for consecutive double 5s.
I would have been tempted to take one off there, I must say.
think that double 6. It's
Okay.
it's
I think
technically
it's-
now not possible. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just
probably-
giving his arm a little practice.
Well, I think he wants him to get rid of
Yeah.
some more of his doubles there.
Yeah.
I think.
Come on, get in. Right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's now 8-3.
8-3. Yeah.
8-3 to what? 15?
15. Yeah.
3 to 15. So
Abdullah's going to have to find some better form here. I think Aurelien, I've played him in a match myself before, is a very, very good match player. I think he's going to make it very tough for Abdullah to come back into this.
Okay, so if they were equally skilled, then Aurelien would now be 73% favourite, but I'm guessing he's the better player, so he's probably more than 73%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 to 1 on at this point. Ooh, keep this reading. Okay, nice roll.
Very nice.
Not only is he rolling, playing well, he's rolling better.
He is.
Ooh. Now, normally when your opponent has an advanced anchor, you need an advanced anchor. I would actually have gone to the bar there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is definitely, we are in
This is
double
double
tiger
tiger.
country. So hit on the 5 point, hit on the ace point. He's got the protection of the anchor. So anything else I think is far too weak.
Well, it just gives black too much opportunity if he doesn't go for
Yeah.
the aggressive double tiger. He's contemplating. He's contemplating.
Got half of it right. Got the other half right.
Okay.
Excellent.
Very good. Yeah.
So thanks to Mishi for the double tiger concept.
Absolutely. Mustn't forget Roland as well.
And Roland, yeah, sorry.
For the drawing.
Oh,
Oh, a fan. Ah, yes, he doesn't hesitate.
Ooh.
Here he goes.
Is this a double? Even if he picks up the second checker, he's got an awful lot of work to do.
He
here.
does, but
I know he's trailing.
he's trailing, so he feels he has to
He feels he
seize
has
his
to,
moment
yeah.
here. Even if it's not a double, he feels this is a good chance for him.
Well, but you're not talking loud enough.
Okay, right. I'll talk louder. Okay.
Okay, he's thinking here. Does have his anchor, so
I think this is more a take than a double, but I agree with the double given the
I think he has to
stage
push
of
it
the
a
match.
bit. He's got one on
he's
the
got to
roof.
try.
He's got a double direct and an indirect.
Okay. So according to XG, the double is absolutely on the borderline, and he's dropped, and that is a big error,
It is,
a
but
very big error. So that's in quadruple blunder country.
yeah.
So match play fear comes into play again.
It's not just match play, it's I'm ahead in the
Yeah.
score, I'm leading 8-3. Do I want to potentially lose 2 points, maybe 4 points? I'll just pass for 1 point and play the next game.
6.
So I call this one a scoreboard pass.
That was a scoreboard pass, definitely. But it's
Scoreboard
a sort of
pass.
double where you really need to take just a little bit more time to think about it and get rid of the emotion. Think about what you're trying to do. What?
Okay, I appreciate he's behind, but
I think you've got to make the 5 point here.
I think that's stronger than
You've-
a loose hit.
You follow Falafel's rule. You make the 5 point, and then you worry about what else you could have done later.
Yeah, that seems a good theory. You know, he's
Yeah.
got punished as,
Yeah.
for not making the 5
Yeah,
point.
that's either that or 5 and 4.
Yeah.
So what do we got now? 6-4.
Okay, he's got quite a
So
few
you
options
double
here.
hit, make the 9 point. Single hit doesn't look good. So you either take the asset by making the 2 point, or you just make the 9 point. If you make the 9 point, he's going to make the bar,
Yeah,
and you have a relatively even game. I would make the 2 point here.
I think so.
There are some awkward numbers for Blackhead. Whenever. Okay.
Small.
Right. So small difference between making the 9 point and making the 2 point here, according to our silicon friend. And he's gone for the double hit.
He's gone for the blitz.
Yeah. White's checker structure is quite ugly.
That's not
Yeah,
too
he's
bad.
got to
No,
put
he's coming with 1, but he needs a good roll.
Okay,
here.
so the 5 he makes the point.
I think he just buttons
I think
here,
you
doesn't
just
he, Chris?
yeah. Oh, sorry, he's got 1 on the bar. I think you could have been a little more aggressive and played 13 to 11 there. Yeah. Because now you'd have a much more flexible position. That would have been a hit.
Would have been a hit. Now he's got
Now
something
he's
to
really
think
got
about.
not a lot of choice.
Not
So
really.
you can play safe, but playing 13 to 8, 6 to 2 is a sort of structure you really don't want to own. I
He's
think
slotting the 4 point here.
slot the 4 point.
I like his play.
Yeah.
You put 2 checkers.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
He's looking at it. He's looking at all his options.
This is the long-term option. The other one was too risky. He doesn't have enough checkers to make the attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay,
Standard.
so now if he fans, this game is over. But he doesn't, so the game goes on. Yeah. Nothing else, can't slot. White. Big advantage to white, but not quite enough to double. Really? I think he's just got to play 13 to 8 here, because if he plays that 2, then the 3, he has to kill the checker.
Yeah, and
And
it's
that
going to
can't
be
be
even
right.
more awkward to bring it home.
Yeah. Backgammon is fundamentally a representation of war, and if you don't lose your whole army, then
Yeah,
you're
this
in
is-
trouble. So now we have a dead checker, which is really not a great idea.
Yes, I think he was finding the wrong plan there.
And here we're.
Four.
Sorry.
Needs to find a 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I
can't be right.
just couldn't see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a
Okay.
terrible 4-2. I think. I think he should have just prepared his board. He's not going to contain that white checker.
Yeah, I think he should have waited as well.
Yeah. Now white has a very disjointed position, and again he can't kill checkers here. I think he has to run away with a 4-6, duplicate 2s. He's still got a 4-point board against a 1-point board. Everything else looks really ugly. 2 down gives black total control of the outfield. Sorry, he can play 7 to 1, but that's another dead checker.
Yeah, I think he's
I
on
think-
borrowed
I
time
think
if
you've
he
got to
plays
come
to
out.
the ace point.
You've got to come out. Yeah, well played. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So white can't double yet. His position is still disjointed. He needs to tidy up those checkers. Now he can tidy them up.
Okay,
Now-
so now we have a waiting
Now he
game.
needs to think,
We have a
right?
waiting
Because
game.
he is 67 pips ahead.
He is, but
So, And now he's made his 4-point as well. So probably white here is only going to leave a single shot at some point. And you have to think that this must be a double. That this racing lead is so big that there are some racing gammons in this position. So
Well, it's just a good way to
Yeah.
get 2 points as well.
you know, yeah, white's gammon losses are absolutely minimal, which is great when you're leading 8-4. So I would be spinning the cube here and putting the pressure on.
Yes.
He rolls something like 5-3, 5-4. Black has one shot to win the game, otherwise he's worrying about saving the gammon. It's also a take, because black has no dead checkers, a good structure.
Okay.
And that is ugly.
That is-
So he has to come off the midpoint, then come off with 1 and then think about the 3. So I'd be coming here, and 5s, 2s, 2s, 5s. You can duplicate 2s and 5s by bringing the second checker down. Also, if he hits, he has to split the anchor at the point when white still has a 5-point board, so I think this is right.
I like his play.
And of course he hasn't cubed.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Joker!
That's a super joker, I think they call this.
Wow!
So hit, cover,
And come out.
make the point, and
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you don't want any silly returns. That's something I learnt a long time ago by once leaving a checker there and getting gammoned in a totally crushing position.
yeah.
So this is clearly right.
Okay, he's covering the outfield. He's
Yeah.
not leaving him any shots.
Now, depending on what happens, hit 4-3. 4 is clear, obviously.
Yeah.
I would still come out. If he breaks with the 1 to hit, that's a target from the bar. Black is still some horrendous number of pips behind, so and given white's 5-point board, any return hit leads to gammons for white. So,
Yeah.
and now this is the variation whereby he's playing it very safe and playing it very quickly. You've really got to think about this stuff and work out the numbers and try to see what you're trying to do here.
Yeah, okay, he's
This-
cubed.
He's cubed. I don't think this is a double. Yeah. So according again, XG says this is no double. He has a deficit of 40 pips. He has a 3-point board versus a 5-point board, and he's got to constrain a single checker. So he needs somewhat more structure before he can offer this double. So
Good take.
good take.
Now we have a game.
Okay, so now you think about the 3. So what are the bad numbers? There are no bad numbers. White can't hit anything irrespective of what happens here. He's now duplicated his own 4s, so I'm not sure about that. This is clear.
He must come out into the
Must come in.
the
Into the
trouble shot.
minefield.
Yeah. He doesn't want to stay on the 4-point. That's the target for
5
for
4s
black.
and 1s is
And if he gets missed, he's in
27 shots plus double 2 and 3-2. So it's 30 shots.
Yeah, but if he gets
Yeah,
missed,
that's fine,
he's in
no.
tremendous
Yeah,
position.
yeah.
So
This is
you
is
know,
very
this is one
clear.
you just got to face the music. Okay.
3. Now you got again. You still got to think in these positions. It's no good just moving checkers. So this is right. Thinks about 2-5, 2-6, 1-6. He needs. Okay. Now he needs to think about making the 2-point or the bar or the 8-point
No, that's a good roll.
or the ace point or the bar.
He does have.
I like the bar here.
uh,
It's close, I think.
this
Now
gives-
the 8-point or the
This gives him more bring it home structure,
Yeah.
doesn't it? So
now. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. We like this play.
Yeah, I think risking
Okay.
2 shots. This is a good play.
He's got to do something to bring it. There will always be some risk bringing it home. If he doesn't do this, then white has 20 entering numbers as opposed to 11. So it seems logical that for a 1-roll, 1-6 opportunity that he takes the risk now. Pay now rather than pay later.
It's a very, very small risk to make a 5-point board.
Yeah.
I think he must, yeah. Yeah, good play.
Right total, wrong numbers. Now you have to ask yourself, is it worth leaving?
It all depends on the race.
Close. It probably
Now,
Again, that 4-1, I would have taken a lot more time to think about the variations there. They have plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah.
Now, by lifting the bar, Black has put himself in danger of White rolling a 6.
well, he has, and also he may have to make a decision here. Do
As
I
to
play
I hit?
safe? Do I
Yeah.
hit? You know,
The race is going to be equal after this roll, basically. So,
he's going to be forced to hit
yeah.
with any.
how do you play the other 3 ones? I would have played 2 to the 5 point and 8 to 7. Now decision time.
Well, there is no decision. He's got to hit with the 2.
I would hit.
You can't do this. He must hit. He must hit. You can't give him the opportunity. He owns the cube.
Yeah.
You can't give him an opportunity to roll 6x. I think you hit.
Now he's given him 6-3 for nothing and all other 6s. This
Yeah,
cannot be
this
right.
is- Okay, my play
He
would
would
have
have
got
been
hit,
hit.
of course, but I still think it's right to hit there. I would
For
still
one?
hit. He's
Yeah, it's still close. What's the race? It's like 2 pips, this race.
he's just giving him too much
Yeah.
opportunity for the turnaround. Okay.
Now maybe he'll hit. Now he's only got a 4-point board. Nope, can't
okay,
hit.
can't
Okay.
hit. Just take off.
Still only 6 gives White a game. There.
It does, but now he's under pressure.
Yeah.
You know, he chose not to
Now
hit
one
twice.
big set from White and Black's feeling the pressure.
You know, he's not gonna. He's taking off almost 2 every go here for quite
Yeah.
a while.
Now one big set. Come on, make it exciting. That'll do.
There you see, look. Now we have what I call delayed pressure. The passive non-hit play could come back to hurt him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 6, 8, 11, 2, 1.
He's a good roll. That's good.
5 and 3. It's okay.
Okay, so what we
So
got? 2, 4,
this is
7
basically a
versus
4 roll position.
7 versus 6.
That's a great roll for Black.
Fantastic roll. That
Any
takes the
thought of a
heat off.
cube from White? That's diminished.
That's not so good.
It's okay. He's got a spare 2. Now this could get really interesting depending on what happens here. Oh, I withdraw that remark. Now White needs a double. Okay. Okay, so he's got 4 rolls to win the game.
Oh, the showboat play. We love it.
Oh,
my
double
goodness.
3. So, Black paid the price for playing non-aggressive backgammon. So,
Yeah, I think.
when I'm teaching students, I say, I really don't care what you do with your home life, but in backgammon, you need to be aggressive.
Especially in that position, he
Yeah.
just gave.
You've just got to hit.
He gave his
Yeah.
opponent far too much opportunity to win the game, but more importantly, he didn't have cube ownership.
Yeah.
So you're giving your opponent too much chance to win the game.
Yeah. So it's an object lesson that you need to be aggressive when you play backgammon. It will see you through so many difficult decisions.
Okay, the players are on break here,
So we'll take a break.
we'll be back in 5 minutes or so.
It depends on the players, really,
With regard to what?
when they start.
Oh, okay.
But
Yep, yep.
Okay, we're back. It's okay, they haven't started. 6-3, the opening roll. Right, we have the commentators in position.
And Mate is
Yeah,
back. Well done, Mate. Excellent
One
job.
of our fittest commentators.
He is. He went back, reset the board for the
Yeah.
audience.
They
Now
can-
we're back live. He's going to cue the players up, and we're ready for action.
Okay, White is at this point in time an 84% favourite to win this match. That's 5-1 on if the players are of equal skill. So Abdullah's got a big job in his hands here, and he's not going to be able to do this in singles. He needs to be aggressive with the cube. He needs to make opening moves that lead to gammonish positions. So he needs to be dropping checkers down and not splitting in the opening rolls. Let's see what he does.
Okay, they're just waiting for the cue from the staff to say they can continue. We'll be on our way very, very soon. Just a small pause. Oh, okay. One of the players has been maybe asked to sign an autograph, or one of his fan club wants to take a picture. I'm not quite sure, but he's not at the board.
Okay, slightly puzzled, but we'll just sit
We
here.
are.
They will come back.
They will come back. We're not too sure exactly what's happening, but
I told them to wait a little.
Did you? Okay.
But it was before.
so whoever loses this match will go into the second chance final, lying in wait for who gets through in the other part of the second chance draw.
Which is still some way to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some way to go, but a nice position to be in.
Yes. Yes. We'd rather be out there than in here.
For certain. For certain. Yes.
Pass a bottle of water. Right? Looks like they're coming back. We can see shadows.
Okay, they're almost. Oh,
Oh,
here he
okay.
is. Okay, there's the go ahead, and we're off.
4-2 for White. Standard play.
Indeed.
Okay. Could have had the choice coming in on the 4 and slotting the 5 point there, but probably didn't look at that.
Okay, so already Aurelıen in a
2-1
nice
makes the
position.
bar.
Yeah.
Oh, good roll, double
Wow,
3.
that's a fantastic roll.
So up with 2 and make the 3
unstacking,
point.
Yeah.
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 So already White has a strong position.
Okay.
Ooh,
That's
this is
awkward.
going to be difficult. Okay,
This is
so
awkward.
6-1. What are you trying to do here?
Well, he's.
Ooh,
I'm not sure though, Chris. If he plays
Yeah, no,
something
no.
more open, it just encourages the cue.
yeah,
Even at 10-4.
yeah.
Uh,
He's even thinking about it now. I mean, I'll be doubling this for money. The score. There's
This
no
score?
immediate. He has very few absolutely crushing rolls, but a lot of very good rolls.
He does, but I think he's looking at his position.
The race is only 6 pips, so white has a strong position. What have we got here? No double. Yeah, okay. So XG says no double, and I would agree with that. And if he rolls boxcars or 4-4 or 4-2, he'll just be grateful and take a point next roll, assuming black doesn't reply with 6-6 or anything.
It's good that he's
So he's thinking
time.
at least,
It's
which is
thinking.
good.
It's good that he's thinking, taking his time. Good play.
3-2. Again, I would have looked longer at that because black has an inner board block, so he might have been able to afford to drop the 2 blocks down with builders for the bar. Now he's got a double 1. Now he needs to think. He's got to do something with the back checkers. I don't think you can play 3-1 here. Oh.
Yeah, I think he could rue
And
that mistake.
now white. He's playing to avoid damage, and that's not the way to win a backgammon. Now he's having to take a much bigger risk. But 3-1 is actually a very good roll for him. At least allows him to get both back checkers up. Again, now black has a 4-point prime. They both have 4-point primes. So again, at this score, this can't be a double.
Especially now he's upgraded and made his 5-point. I think I wouldn't cube here. He's thinking which we like, of course. Oh, he's pushed. He cubes.
Whoa!
Insta take.
Ooh.
Insta take. 5-1.
And this is
Now
one of the
he's-
problems. So
Now he's under
doubling.
pressure. What does he do? Do I hit? Do I not hit? Do I leave the mid?
He's given the cube away.
He
He has to
does.
win with the checkers. So white has what's called a broken prime. So he's played this relatively conservatively, but then again, black's position is reasonable.
He does, but he's...
I think probably he had to hit that. But unfortunately, they played it so quickly. We haven't got time to really think it through deeply. So he's now rolled 6-5. Yeah.
Gives him a 6.
Yeah, but then at least if he hits, he's got to give up the anchor to hit. So now he's going to hit. And he is going to drop down to the 10-point.
Yeah.
So black now needs to re-anchor. Ooh. Ooh.
This is a double-edged sword, isn't it? If he comes
Yeah.
in on 4, he's aiming on there.
He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers on it.
But based on the score, does he have much choice? If he comes in on 24, it's very hard to win that way as well.
6-2 is ugly. I think he has to
He has to
believe in his prime.
I think he's got to come in
So
on
he's coming on the 4 and play 6-5.
I think so. I think he has to make a stance here. As uncomfortable as it is. Good play. Hope XG agrees.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, dislikes it, my goodness.
Double 6. This could be lights out here. So he's going to make the 2-point, hit loose on the 4-point,
And then think about
and then
the
think
final.
about the last checker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
24.
Relax.
Oh, hit.
Relax.
He's going to hit. Tempo hit.
I don't know many players that would see that one over the board. Double.
So I think 3 of these 6s are absolutely forced.
They are, yes. I'm not sure what he's considering
So
here.
the 4th one is...
Is he maybe thinking about making a 5-point board with less risk of hitting on the 4? I think maybe that's what he's considering here.
Yeah.
Going for the kind of halfway.
Then if he rolls a 4... Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I agree with the other 6. He's got 2 cover numbers plus 6-5.
Okay.
And he's escaped his last checker.
He did it the other way around. He was thinking
Yeah.
deeply about what's my final 6 I'm going to
Right,
play.
and now he's really in trouble.
He's in
Yeah.
terrible
So any
shell
2,
trouble.
3 or 11.
Terrible trouble.
5-4. Can't cover, can't safety, cross both.
Yeah.
Additional builders.
Maximums.
Yeah.
And he doesn't roll 4 here.
This
He's-
is what's
he-
called last chance saloon.
yeah,
he really
has
needs to roll a
It has to
4
be a
here.
4.
He's
That's
got
a
it.
great shot. That's a great shot.
This is why backgammon is such an infuriating game. This is a terrible position for white, but he has some
Ooh,
chances.
2-6.
So, sorry for black.
Mm.
Okay, now
needs
again, he
another
must
4.
roll a 4, but at least his prime on the other side of the board may hinder. Okay, so 2s, 3s and 7s. There's... ooh. So, You either escape, which I don't think is right. I think you make the point and hit again, loose on the ace point.
I like that play.
Taking my moral, basic position of aggression in backgammon.
I think the two, so
Yeah.
and
Yeah, you've got to do this.
That's where the checker needs to go.
If your opponent hasn't got a full prime, you just hit. It's one of my rules.
That seems a good rule of thumb to
Yeah.
go by, Mr. Bray.
So the 1 comes up, and you can make a safety play with the 4, which is probably right, 11-7.
Yeah, you've got to
Yeah.
keep your 6
Yeah.
prime.
Ooh, rolled off the 1, that dice, at the last minute. It's duplicated his 6s.
This is not good for...
I think you come out with this.
I think you just go all the way with the same checker.
Yeah.
No reason to put the
Yeah.
checker on the 2 point
Yeah.
and only having aces to cover.
Making the ace point is clearly wrong here.
You just go
Yeah.
all the way and then hope he doesn't roll an ace.
Yeah.
And then
You could play 7-2, but I think this is right.
I think it's the wrong place for the checker, personally.
Here we go. Oh, he's rolled a 1.
We have
Ah.
action. We have action.
action.
He's rolled the ace. This could get very exciting. Double
Oh.
fives.
Right. So, does white want to come in? Sorry, does
Bla-
black want to come in?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Black wants to come in here.
Right, they're exchanging useless double 5s.
2-5.
And in. Okay, so now he's got a good 5, but unfortunately he needs 2-5 and 2-6 to get out on the other side. So white's numbers are to a certain extent duplicated. So a 1 or a 2 would make him breathe a lot more comfortably. Oh,
my
2-6.
goodness.
Now, I still hit.
I definitely hit. The gammons are worth a lot. here.
Gammons get him to Crawford. And if he lets black roll an ace, then black's in the game forever. You've got to hit. Come on. Yes, good man.
He wants that final. He wants that final. Good play.
Now, come on, an ace to make it exciting.
Oh, shame they're not playing in the US. That would be a hit there.
I would have hit anyway.
Oh, top number. So
Ah,
now
that's
he
brilliant.
comes out. He
I'll
comes.
cover.
Yes,
He's
they're
got-
definitely
I
going to cover.
You've got to come out with
You
a
come
six.
out with a 6
Come
and
out
make
with
with
a
a
six and
5
make the
because
five.
then your
Double
bad
threes
roll
and
is
bad,
double 3.
which is safe.
Is okay.
and
The other
keeps
way,
ball
double 4
close.
cracks the board.
Yeah,
So this is right.
Definitely right.
You knew that fast? Double 4 cracks the board.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Yeah.
would take me 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's okay. They taught me maths when I was a small child.
Yeah, they don't teach math in the United States.
No, you don't need to. You just teach internet
Right.
skills. Okay.
Right.
So now all he has to think about is where to put the checkers. Now this is an awkward roll. There's nothing
Yeah,
you can
just
do about
two
this.
in for
Two
me.
in.
2 in.
There's nothing you can do. He's going to have bad numbers next roll.
Yeah, there's
They're
no-
not that bad, though. They're not that many bad numbers.
No.
No, there's 4 of them to be precise.
4? You got that fast?
Double 6, double
No,
5.
no, we don't
six.
do this.
No.
No.
That's more
In.
bad numbers.
In.
That's more bad numbers.
In.
How
And
many bad
also-
numbers here, Chris?
Double 6, double 5, 6, 5. Is there any more actually? Double 4's uglier.
It is, but he wants a gammon, so if
Yeah,
he gets a
gammon,
gammon,
yeah.
it's huge for him in this
Yeah.
position.
Uh-huh.
So jogging to the 2 point reduces his gammon equity
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So you want to play, you're leaving
Yeah.
bad numbers
Yeah,
anyway.
this
but
is
the
the right
difference
play.
is here when he takes off, he doesn't break it open his board so quickly.
I got it.
Nice play.
How much do I owe you guys for this lesson? This is
Yeah, this is
great.
good, isn't it?
This is good stuff.
Okay, rip it.
Off.
If you don't rip it, then 6-1 and things. If you play 4-1, then 6-1 next time is ugly. Yep, well done.
Good play.
Nice.
Right, in something with a 2. Oh well, 2 of them. So 6-4 twice and 1 off is
I
fairly
think
clear.
That's very clear here.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's
Nothing
got-
leaves a shot. Can't get hurt.
Yeah, this is almost like
Oh.
I've guaranteed myself 2 points, and if I do really
Well,
well, I'll get 4.
Black needs 19 crossovers
Yeah,
and
this
white
one.
needs 12. So barring a miracle, this is a gammon.
But Eric made the cardinal mistake. He said it guarantees, like nothing can go wrong. That's
Oh.
the kiss of death in backgammon.
Yeah. So we've all seen ludicrous gammons saved,
Mm-hmm.
but this isn't going to be one of them. I'm taking bets.
I bet often here that I don't
That
get
is
gammon.
the wrong 6. The 6 has to go out.
Yeah, I bet people lots of money here that I don't get gammon. I leave a checker back and get backgammon, and I win the bet. I made a lot of money that way, but I guess I just screwed it up.
Yeah. Okay. 8 crossovers versus 15. We are nearly at the end. 7 crossovers, sorry.
Yeah. Doesn't look good for Abdullah.
We're now entering the, I think I need to take a rest sort of area.
If I'm Abdullah, I take a break here.
Yeah,
think
he's
you
just
have
had
time
one.
Huh, you just had one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
14. So we're Crawford, 14-4. White's percentage winning chance is 90 something, where the something is a big number.
Barring some kind of miracle or divine intervention, I think
Yeah.
Aurelien's played
Yeah.
himself very well into
Yes.
Yeah.
the final.
So
here.
he's shown the aggression that Abdullah has not, and that aggression has paid off.
You missed
So-
the very first couple of games, Chris.
Yeah.
Abdullah was very aggressive at the beginning, and then he slowed down.
Yeah.
He reversed it. I couldn't believe it.
I think the biggest difference has actually been that yes, Aurelien's been aggressive, but he's picked his spots tactically to add that aggression into his play, and that's been the difference here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't cube when he cubed when he was too good one time. He dropped a couple of takes.
Yeah.
But his checker play's
Yeah.
been aggressive.
Now Aurelie can afford to lose a gammon here. If he loses the game, it makes no difference. He can't afford to lose a backgammon, so
So
he
this
can
is a
play
Crawford,
relatively aggressive.
This is a
Crawford
Crawford game, which
yeah.
means that nobody can double this game, and that gives a big
Ooh.
advantage to the leader.
I don't like the 2 that Abdullah's just played, because again, a couple of times here he's kept the 2 back checkers where they are connected, and it's paid off this time because he's made the bar, which is nice.
Michi gave a lecture recently, I believe it was in
Whoa,
Bristol,
look.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
About how bad it is to stay on the 24
Yeah,
point too long.
yeah.
That was his whole lecture.
Well, maybe someone could
Ooh.
send a copy of the link for Abdullah to check it out.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
in all through the match, I've noticed very much he's.
Abdullah does not speak Japanese, so.
Okay.
How do you know that?
Okay, so he can't safety the blot on the 16 point, so you make the 9 point and the 4 point here. Okay, hope you don't get hit with the 4. If he
Yeah.
doesn't get hit with the 4, he may be very close to being in the final.
I very much like this play.
What else does he think? He's thinking, no, he can't hit anything. Oh, he's thinking of hitting twice, which would be
Or he's thinking
a really
bar.
terrible
He
play.
momentarily thought about maybe making the bar.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This is
No,
clearly
this
the
is
best
clearly
play.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, the hit. So Abdullah survives. Now let's see. Whenever you hit someone, there are always some funny numbers when you come in. So this is not a great number.
So does he hit or does he go to the 8? He's threatening to make a 5 prime here potentially.
Gammons don't matter.
Gammons don't matter.
I hit.
I like the hit.
I like it too.
Yeah, good played off.
Yeah.
Now you can make the
Yeah.
prime, but I don't think you can afford to make the prime because the rest of his position. Sorry, the 5 point prime.
I
So-
don't know. Chris, this is what I get wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm
This is a
very
close-
tempted to make the prime.
This is a close
I
call.
think you've got to come up because of the blot of the 3
Let's
point.
see,
You get a
what
lot of
did XG
returns.
say?
I tried.
What did you,
XG said,
make the
Make
prime.
the prime,
There
yes.
you go.
Yeah,
Phil
it's-
wins.
it's
one
Okay.
point for Phil.
It's there for a long time, isn't
Alright.
it? And he's got to get over that.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about that play for the next half hour, because I got it right.
Good play, Phil.
Thank you.
What's he got?
So
One to
double
play.
4s.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So he needs a 3. That's not a 3.
We want some more excitement for
I
the
think
watchers. Come
I
on.
think the commentators may shortly be having a small beer.
Big bear.
Okay.
This is lovely. 3, 4 in.
Beautiful.
I want to remind you that when Abdullah loses, if he loses, he's not out of the tournament. He gets to play another match, and if he wins that, he gets back into the finals again. But then he would have to win 2 in a row to win the championship. But he's not out if he loses this match.
This looks like 2 down unless anyone's got eyesight that I haven't got.
No, I like your play, Chris. I don't know. He's considering something else. I'm not sure what that is, but
There is no other
Other
something
play.
else.
I know. That's why I was
Yeah.
being a little bit
Yeah.
cheeky.
Yeah.
Right.
Was he going to
so,
slot the 2?
so- oh, no.
This is
So-
very, very bad. He's just got to hope that somehow he just implodes himself. by
Right,
not
and this is
rolling
the
an
reason
ace
for
or a
making the
deuce.
prime
Oh,
early.
Whoa,
God. Game
great
over.
roll. Out and hit.
That's-
Yeah.
Out
Well
and
done. Phil hits here.
I hit.
Are you sure?
I come out and hit.
Are you sure you don't make this?
You come out with the hit.
Yes.
Right.
That hit.
You
This
could- you
is
come up
this
and
is
hit.
match over unless he gets
He-
double aces.
he needs to anchor to make it even
2-1.
vaguely interesting.
This is match over for me. He needs a
He's
miracle.
going to hit here.
Now here, White, a lot of people would be afraid to hit here. You do need
just
to hit.
wash,
You don't
I
want him
think.
to anchor.
Double wash.
Yeah,
Play to the ace point.
very
Yeah.
good play.
Good play.
Excellent play.
That's one of the 3 plays that people miss that experts get. The switching play, the other 2 are the loose hits that they're afraid to make, and the last one is the trap plays. Those are the 3
Yeah.
things that good players like Aurelien saw, and most people will miss.
Perfecto.
Yeah.
6-2.
Yep.
He
Okay.
looks destined for me at the moment.
Double 3 is required.
Oh,
There's
there's
one.
Single 3.
Now, depending on what he rolls, there are times when you're
Oh, he must hit though.
6 across.
I would
He's
still
hit.
hit.
Yeah, I think you got to hit.
Must hit. You don't want him to anchor. That gets
Yeah,
him
I
a
agree.
game. Even though you don't need a gammon, you still gotta win the game.
I would agree. Oh, XG doesn't agree though.
Oh, wow.
XG doesn't hit?
Very small.
Very
Very
small,
small.
very small. Because when you get near the end of the game and you've got lots of checkers of the opponent in the air, you sometimes don't need to make the
So
point
if
to
he-
win the gammon.
If he anchors on the 3-point, it wouldn't be as bad as if he anchored on the 1 point.
Or the 2 point, yeah,
Or
definitely.
Although
the
you-
2 point.
We're forgetting I lost my thoughts here. My natural aggression as well for winning games. He only needs 1 point here.
Mhm.
So even if he comes in on the 3, it shouldn't be too difficult to clear his checkers in and
One
bury
of
it.
my
difference?
one of
What's
my
the
big
difference?
mentors and teachers when I was really starting to study the game was Dean Munch, and Dean always said hitting is fun. So I always think about hitting too much because I know how much fun it is.
Definitely.
I miss Dean. He
But this
passed
is,
away a few years
last
ago. We lost some great
only
players.
Sorry.
I
Okay,
like
so-
what Aurelien's doing here.
Yeah,
He's thinking at least.
This is such a crucial play.
And this is fine.
This is the
I-
business end. No, but he's really wants to maximise his play here.
and
This
he's got
is-
lots of time on the
Yeah,
clock. Use
exactly.
it.
That was a
very,
nice
very
play.
Smart. Very
Applause.
smart.
Okay, no 3.
And look,
he
he's
has-
played,
if he
the,
doesn't-
he's played
if-
the best play as well.
He
Yeah.
did.
I like the way
many,
he
many
thought,
more ways to
thinking
make the
process.
point. He's rewarded for it too.
1, 2, 3, and now 6-4 to protect against
But
double
it's
6.
this definite
Right.
because
Okay.
Very
this
nice
could be a
play.
cheeky break the 5-point play
Yeah, yeah.
just to let him come in further up. Do we
Mhm.
definitely close here? I would have looked
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that.
no.
I would have looked at that, switching and leaving
Yeah.
the 5
I-
open. No
you're right.
double 5
I'm
and
thinking
just.
about breaking the 6-point on this play. I
Oh,
love
for
to do
sure,
that.
I would break the 6.
I
No,
would break the
double
6
6
point.
doesn't hurt you.
Think about it. Right now, I would break the 6-point. How
Yeah,
bad
he's
is that,
looking.
man?
He's looking at it.
It is right.
Yeah,
2 for Phil.
Yeah.
Wow, I should get a trophy for that.
yeah.
I'll buy you a drink for sure. The fact that it's all inclusive, I'll still get you a drink later.
We're at the Merritt Park Hotel where all the drinks you can eat. I had Black Label last night. I was looking for Blue Label because it's all free.
No, he's gone. He's played traditional backgammon,
Yeah.
which was not necessary here.
Yeah. People don't think about breaking the 6-point. It's
They
really
do,
Now,
but
now if
now
he
it's-
clears it, then
it's more risky.
Now
Double
he-
6, double
Now
5
he can
bad.
pile them on the 4-point.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're bearing off against contact on the ace point, once you clear the 6-point, you reduce your chances of being hit by 30%. So clearing the 6-point is one of the fundamental things you need to do.
Wow.
So-
I always said 30.5%.
Yeah, it's close, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so nice structure.
Now,
Now, something with the 2 would be good. 5-4 is also okay.
That's very good. Anything that
Okay,
doesn't
could
leave
be in
a
trouble
shot.
in 2 rolls
Yeah.
time.
he needs two
Um,
bogeys in a row to
I think
leave
being a
something.
manic
So
depressive
when you
helps.
don't want a gammon, you
Yeah.
want your opponent to come in on the high points. You want to clear them.
Oh,
You
this
don't
is
think
great.
about getting
Match
out.
over.
Off.
That's virtual checkmate.
Yeah.
That's virtual checkmate. Match is over, in my opinion.
Yeah, what
it
do
needs
you
a
got, 1%?
needs a freak. Yeah.
Still,
It's virtual checkmate. Everything he's going to do is
6-1, 5-1. So
Yeah.
here's the only variation where it goes wrong.
So he's got to.
Where he bears 2
needs
off
to
next
fan.
time
He
and then
needs to
rolls a
fan.
double.
He needs to fan. Okay, that's
Okay,
bad.
Yeah.
That's bad for black.
Anything with a 1 and we're definitely finished.
Ooh.
One,
I
two.
still, all right, I'll take white even.
I think that was actually illegal, wasn't it? That
No,
wasn't
that's
legal.
fine.
Was
It's
it double
illegal.
2s or double 3s?
Double 3s.
It was illegal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
He
like-
played it as double 2s.
Oh.
No, he played 3s.
You sure?
Yeah, he took 3 off, but he played.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh!
A
Oh,
shot!
a shot has
Now
rung
the
out.
crowd definitely want to see a
It's
hit.
3.
I know that Aurelien doesn't want to see a hit.
Oh!
He shook his hand. Good sportsmanship. Both very nice guys. Well played match for the match, and I love that they didn't play all the standard plays, and they knew they were playing aggressive. I love these guys. I hope one of them wins.
Sure.
Great guys. I was in the other room listening to you guys. You're terrific. I
Thanks,
really
Phil.
enjoyed the commentary.
Thank you
Well,
very much.
Mete,
come back
Mete, you
tomorrow.
were
for more.
amazing.
Come back tomorrow.
If
for
they
more.
invite me, I'll come back.
Yeah.
Mete, you were great. Being able to see this on XG, this is the way it should be
Yeah,
done.
absolutely.
Thank you for any viewers.
And I'd like to send out a personal message to the audience. Thank you to Mete Fair for his excellent work with Merritt Park Hotel, the staff. He's doing a tremendous job. He's making sure that the audience see backgammon in the best possible way. So thank you very much. I hope you get more recognition.
Thank you. All right.
And now we're going to sign out. Thank you, Mr. Bray.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil Simborg.
And thank
Thank
you,
you.
Merıt.
Thank you very much.
Great job.
Thank
Okay.
you. Goodbye.
guys.
Goodbye. That was fun.
Turn the mic off.